Violet woke up with missing arms and a troubling past. A past where the only thing that mattered was following orders. This became the norm for her. She didn't need to think, but to just do what she was told. She didn't need to feel, so she never learned how. She followed and followed, doing everything to the best of her ability, without any care for herself. Because why would she? Why would she care about her safety? She didn't matter. She didn't see herself, so she didn't exist. So who was Violet Evergarden? Or well, what was she? Violet was simply a tool. But her story didn't end there. Given a second chance with a new life, she now needs to figure out who she really is. Placed in a completely different world, a world of unspoken words and hidden emotions. Life is no longer a series of tasks and orders laid out before her, but a complex tangle of unexplored paths and uncertain outcomes. This is when she is faced with her first bombardment of emotions, feelings of being lost and alone. But she held on to the last order from Major Gilbert,
Live and be free.
the only person that was kind to her, in a word she never heard before.
I love you.
She used this as a purpose for her life, to understand the meaning of love, and maybe to know what the Major meant, but also to understand what she felt when he said it. Every day is uncertain to her now. While trying to figure out this world, she began working at a post office delivering mail. But every step is a struggle because she doesn't have a direction. Then a customer walks into the post office and asks Violet to write him a letter. Simple enough. Violet writes down everything he says. But at the same time, she missed everything he was trying to say. All the emotions she didn't know were there because, well, she doesn't know them. She wrote a report, not a letter, because that was all she knew. While this might have been a failure, it gave her a path to follow, a direction for her to listen and learn the emotions of other people and how they express them. She realized to know herself, she needed to understand the feelings of other people and listen to what they have to say. The key to understanding her emotions was not to look inward, but outward. In doing this, though, she never could have imagined the pains and scars she's about to dig up. Letter by letter, Violet continued listening to each customer, listening to their love stories and their heartbreaks. She was exposed to the whole range of human emotions, expressed in numerous ways by different people. Not one person expressing their feelings in the same way, and not one person going through the same thing. Each piece of her customer became a part of Violet, and she took care to understand the parts they gave her. She patiently worked with each person to give them time to pour their feelings out and fully understand them so they could be put to words. All these emotions began to connect, and Violet started to understand herself and the words the Major said to her. This allowed Violet to see herself and her past. So her wounds started to appear as they never had the chance to heal. Violet has been burning her whole life and has just now realized. She's crippled by the atrocities she has committed and is now forced to confront each and every one of them. Is she allowed to help people? Is she allowed to feel love? Is she allowed to live? This is what she's wrestling with. And she needs to learn to forgive herself, even with the amount of suffering she has caused for other people. So she lets the pain wash over her. And then she was also able to see all the good she has done for other people by writing letters for them, and all the good she will be able to do. This was the first step in being able to accept her past, which eventually let her be able to live and be free. So now, who is Violet Evergarden? Violet Evergarden is a human, no different than you and me. You may not be an orphan, or a soldier, or a writer, but you've definitely tried to understand yourself and the people in your life. We are continually learning new things about ourselves and our emotions. We have struggled with things in our past and will continue to. While we might never fully understand our emotions, and that goes for our neighbors, our friends, and even our families. But that's not the point. We just need to understand one part of someone, and that part will then unlock the same part in ourselves, slowly giving us a fuller picture. We can then use this to relate to other people, even if we don't know everything about them. Violet learned this through trial and error. She figured out the best way to know herself is to patiently listen to others. And on the flip side, the best way to know others is to understand yourself, one feeling at a time. Overall, anime has played a big part in my life, in helping me understand different emotions I have dealt with, helping me in good times and bad times. But let me know how you related with Violet, if the show has left as big as an impact in your life as it has in mine. I'm Advil, and I'll see you later.